Hello, everybody. Hi, good morning.
Nice.
Ugh, my voice. I'm streaming early today because I want to play my game. And I'm definitely not coping for other things by throwing myself into work. That would be silly. Does it pop up? Is it working? Nope. Okay. Ba-bam. So I was in the middle of doing story quests in my free time. So we're gonna go back to doing that. After I check on all of my stuff. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-bum. I got an achievement. Defeat Argenti. Ba-da-bum-bum. Wonderful. I'm glad that they added that feature, because that wasn't always a feature where you could just auto-send them out again. I got a friend request. Sure. Oh, that's cool. They updated a bunch of stuff. I was in the middle of the cutscene that happens after this, but I had to close the game. Because I had to go to work. There we go. I don't know why Silverwolf's on here. Silverwolf is not built. There we go. Put Robin on her journey. Not that anybody has contact. Make the decision.
I see. I am now aware of everyone's stances. Raising these questions merely serves to illustrate one point. The plight of Penacony cannot be salvaged by the harmony. The true foundation for a sweet dream paradise can only be established through the order, where the strong govern the weak. I know the suffering of being tormented, the turmoil of losing your way, how sorrow and even despair set in when matters don't work out. All of this causes me unending pain, because this is not what happiness is at all. We must teach the weak how to live a happy life. And this life isn't some noble propriety that the upper crust preaches, but in definitive terms, a way of survival that belongs to everyone.
So what is your definition of living a happy life?
Good question. Human consciousness is fundamentally an illusion, a cage known as self-worth. People lured in by this illusion make mistakes, yet still ask that external influences bear the burden. When one mistake after the next permeates the masses, they become impossible to trace. Thus, the amassing of these individual cages culminate to form a prison. A place dictated only by the rule of survival of the fittest. Nature is always accompanied by predation and sacrifice. Its antithesis is known as order. That is what I want to do. Unite people's happiness under the banner of order. They won't need to make bitter
Sunday's a
choices
little
any longer,
delusional.
nor face the weaknesses of humanity. They can cast aside their primal instincts to build a haven for mankind. Simply describing thoughts is far too abstract, so allow me to provide a simple example. As you all may know, there are societal norms like weekends and long weekends that exist on some worlds. During these hard-earned rest days, people are given the chance to extricate themselves from the stresses of everyday life, allowing a certain tranquility to return to their souls. And it is only on these days that people do not have to adhere to the law where the strong prey on the weak. They can live out their lives happily during these brief intermissions. It's just a pity that 2 or 3 days are still too fleeting compared to the span of a lifetime. From where I stand, society's ideal system should be 7 rest days. Following Sunday, there should ensue a second, a third, and indeed an infinite procession of Sundays. This should be the face of the new world. Idyllic, eternal, peaceful days. And thus, every person can return to their base selves in this utopia. Some gaze in reverence at the stars, pouring their whole beings into calculating the distance between us and the isolated world of Pagana. Meanwhile, some seek refuge in quiet corners, holding one another, unencumbered by the chains of unwelcome obligations. There would be no need to bear the hardships of reality. Only in this way can humanity face the inevitable end with the purest of spirit, living a life of dignity. This is what it is to live in bliss.
I'm sorry, it's so early in the morning. It's noon, or a little, it's almost 1 for me. But I decided early stream before Xenoblade, because why not? I'm also, not that it's super healthy, but I'm also not doing great right now, so I'm using stream as a means to keep me distracted. That whole throwing yourself into work when too stressed ideology, which not healthy, but what I'm doing. I also don't like talking in the middle of cutscenes, which is why I get really quiet when things like that happen. I always find it super annoying when people talk during cutscenes. It was my least favorite thing about watching Let's Play streamers. I don't know why.
Miss Firefly, you who are stricken with entropy loss syndrome, you of all would surely understand this.
It sounds like a flawless theory. But what is the price to attain all this?
The cost is minute, merely a personal and eternal sacrifice. If this paradise is to be maintained for everyone, someone must remain trapped in solitary awakening until the end of the cosmos.
Awakening. Which means that this so-called paradise is still a dream. Stepping into this paradise means forsaking reality, correct?
It is not forsaking, but transcending. Flesh, blood, sorrow, weakness. If the physical is the root of spiritual suffering, it is only logical that we defeat it.
But in this supposed bliss, people won't have defeated their demons. The chance to overcome their tribulations would be forever lost to them. In other words, it is an escape.
That's another way of understanding it. But there is no shame in escape. On the contrary, the seeds of escape exist in everyone's hearts. Don't you agree, Miss Firefly? And as to why we sleep, it is because we are afraid to awaken from our dreams. But this is not in conflict with the grand plan. Only in acknowledging this can we truly understand the frailty of human nature, and from there, show compassion and protection.
I admit that you are a born leader. Your perspective on humanity brims with pessimism. Yet you express compassion for all, even when your heart pities them. But unlike you, I live for the self. From my perspective, individuals making choices for themselves is their birthright. The want to escape may be innate in the weak. But whether they are weak or not, it is not up to another to decide.
You go, Firefly.
Perhaps in your mind, you also view me as weak? Because I don't think so.
Since Miss Firefly has said her piece, the Astral Express will also naturally give you our answer. We'll leave it to you. Just as Mr. McHale instructed before. Tell him our choice.
You're a bitch. That's my choice. Sunday. Okay, so my actual look on it, right, is a rest day is not a rest day unless you've worked before.
What is this place?
Does this place ring any bells, Misha?
I don't know, but I feel a sense of deja vu. What is this place?
It's the realm within a dream bubble. This was left to the Astral Express by a nameless, but weirdly, when we entered it, it was completely empty. Dr. Edward from the Dreamscape sales store told me that dreams are formed from memories, and a dream bubble can't take shape if its core is empty. So I thought you might be able to help us in unraveling this mystery, Misha. As a hotel doorman, you know Penacony best among us.
I don't know much about dream bubbles, but if you want to figure out what this mansion is, I'll do my best.
I'm counting on you then.
Himeko, I still don't get it. Why were you so sure that Misha had a connection with this dream bubble?
I wasn't sure. It was just a hunch. But since Misha feels familiar with this place, my hunch might be correct. Exactly. This is where you and Firefly encountered death.
This is where I got stabbed.
Which we now know as dormancy. Considering its connection to Dreamflux Reef, it's not surprising it appeared here. The question now is, who brought you here? Based on the clues we have so far, it's unlikely to be that masked fool. So identifying them is crucial to us. We're drawing closer to the truth once more. Let's give Misha some time, as I believe he'll unveil the secret of this dream bubble.
Alright, but there are doors all over the place. Which one should we choose? Do you have any idea, Misha?
I guess... maybe this way?
I hope Misha becomes a recurring character. I love this boy.
I'm not entirely sure, but... let's give it a try.
Ah, Misha, wait, please, stop running.
Wait, you managed to choose the right door?
Weird. This place is quite different from the hotel.
His eyes are a little locked.
I feel
They're
like
little
I've been here
keyholes.
before, and
Oh, I love
lived here
that.
for a while. If I remember correctly, there should be a fireplace down that hallway. Clocky and I used to sit by the fire, listening to the crackling of firewood. And the room on the other side was the toy room. I loved spreading out all the toys from the box on the floor and making up stories for each of them. Hold on. This doesn't make sense. Didn't I grow up in Dreamflux Reef? So, what is this place?
This could be a case of amnesia. Don't worry, Misha. It's common for everyone to forget certain aspects of the past. Those memories haven't vanished. They're just lying in the depths of your mind. We can surely get them back. Since this place seems familiar to you, why don't we explore a few more rooms and see if you can recall anything more?
Hey.
Yeah.
Ah, hello.
Then let's check out the rooms I
wanted
just
to
mentioned.
Stop in, say hi, make sure you are alright, and remind you to eat food and drink water today.
I have drank water and I have drank water.
Tea,
Yes.
do not make me come over there.
I'll
Do not make me come over there with a sandwich. Just to throw it through your window.
eat food in a bit. I have a lunch break planned and everything, don't worry.
Okay. Also, chat, you better be behaving.
Just behaving. For now. I don't have my usual audience because, you know, I'm streaming 8 hours early.
So everyone better be behaving, and remember, I will become a regular occurrence. You will learn to not question how unhinged I can get. And if you still question how unhinged I am, I don't know how you're here. Because I regularly go down the path of Brindley Mulligan.
Go
In other words,
this way.
look, I don't know a lot. However, I do know that laws are threats made by the dominant socioeconomic group in any given country. And police are a lot like an occupying army, you know?
Yes.
Anyways, you want to help make some bacon?
Mikhail, that's the name. Now we all
Anyways.
know him as the watchmaker.
That's about
So,
it for the
Who is he talking
Brindley
to?
Mulliganisms. I'm
Do
just
you
here
know
to
anything
make sure
about
that
it,
my
Misha?
sibling is alright, and I can
I'm sorry.
do
I don't know much about the watchmaker.
that I can go do human
but-
stuff without
Mikhail,
crashing.
Yes, go do human
Anything
stuff.
special about that name?
I have
Mikhail
clothes tonight.
is Grandpa's name.
Grandpa? Do you
I
mean
may or may not be
you're the
covered.
watchmaker's grandson?
But we haven't heard anything about the
Why do
watchmaker
I still
having
only have one shoe
descendants.
on?
And the
I'm
name
a fucking
Mikhail is
peasant.
not rare.
Hang on.
I'm not
Perhaps
gonna
it's
lie, I
merely a
cannot hear you over my
coincidence.
cutscene.
Could you tell us more about your
It's okay.
grandpa, Mikhail?
Yeah, sure. He was a seafarer who fearlessly ventured into mysterious seas and storms. He was always on the sea and had
Anyway,
lots
T,
of friends who accompanied
I
him on his
I love
travels.
you. I will see you around.
Bye-bye.
And,
Didn't
be
want
nice
me
to
to call
yourself,
him
or else.
Grandpa because that would make him sound old. He believed
Or else
he was
I'll
still
just
young.
message
The
Keegan
name
and ask him
Mikhail
to
was
go
given
drive
to him
over
by
to
his
your place
parents,
again.
Haley and Elise, both renowned
No, don't
seafarers.
bother him.
Every time he came back, he'd share his logbook with
I
me
really
and
need to
tell
get
me
into
about
the
his
habit
adventures
of
at
talking
sea.
to him whenever there isn't a crisis.
I want to become
Yes.
a great adventurer, just like him.
I should play
It
Star
appears
Wars
that the
games with him.
seafarer has nothing to do with the
Like,
watchmaker.
he is always busy.
So
I cannot
perhaps
play
it's
Star
just
Wars
a
games with him.
coincidence? So where is your grandpa now?
I'm beginning to suspect that he
He
doesn't
went
want to play
off on a
Battlestar
new
Galactica.
journey, and it's been quite a while since I last saw him.
But that's okay. Anyways, bye.
So,
Bye-bye.
where has Clocky gone?
No, that is
Did he
definitely
leave to
Mikhail,
protect
our
Dreamville?
Mr. Express man. He's the watchmaker. Misha wouldn't be important otherwise for the overarching plot, you know?
I heard some noises from the room. Origami Bird? That's a friend of mine.
You and Origami Bird are friends?
Yeah. It's a member of the Compass crew, just like Clocky and Miss Mirror. And there's more than just one Origami Bird. They are a big family with lots of brothers and sisters who look the same. They follow Miss Mirror's orders and handle all sorts of jobs on the ship. They're the best sailors.
Sailors? Can origami birds be sailors?
Could you tell us more about the compass, Misha?
The Compass is a ship bound for the New World. Clocky and his partners travel through layers of fog to the depths of the sea. Whenever there is danger, Clocky will use a compass and guide the ship in the right direction.
That's a great story. But in the Penacony cartoon, Clocky and his partners have always lived in Dreamville and never ventured out, right?
Huh? Oh, that does seem to be the case. Weird. I clearly remember Clocky arrived in the New World in the end.
Perhaps Clocky has a hidden past.
I think I hear the sound of water.
You once mentioned there's a magnificent fountain up ahead.
So we all agree that he is definitely the watchmaker's grandson, right? Like, this is all very the Astral Express is the ship where his crew, like this is all very like,
Look, there it is.
oh. You know, and that makes sense with all the water theme now. That's really cool, actually. I didn't even think about that.
The water resembles a precious jewel, embedded in the dreams of all seafarers. Every time I gaze at the shimmering lights beneath the waves, it feels as though I'm back in this place, standing by your side.
Have you recalled anything, Misha?
Yeah, I saw these sentences in Grandpa's logbook. He used to say that despite the perils of the sea, whenever he stood on the deck in the afternoon, overlooking the sparkling waves, he would think of this fountain in front of his house. He often said that those moments felt like returning to his family's side, and the difficulties at sea didn't seem quite as challenging.
You know, I quite understand such sentiments. Hey, don't tease! I was just being a bit sentimental.
Cause like,
Perhaps
all
Every
of us
adventurer far
have
from home
that
carries
Astral
a
Express
fountain
charm
within their soul. Even though the
that we
other
get
side
for
of
joining the
sea
Express.
remains shrouded in the
And
unknown,
Misha has one right there.
the fountain in front of his house serves as a compass, leading him back to his cherished ones.
Yeah. While Grandpa was at home, we would stand by the fountain and place the compass, a toy boat that I made, into the pool. Back then, I would ask him when I could go on adventures like him, and he would always laugh and say I was still too young.
It seems this Mikhail is truly a seafarer and has nothing to do with the watchmaker.
March, please, you're
Yeah.
smarter than this.
Based on Misha's recollections, the scenes in the dream bubble appear to be his childhood memories.
March, you're not this
But
stupid.
this raises more questions. According to Misha, he was clearly born on an oceanic planet and led an ordinary life, with no connection to Penacony at all. Could this be some sort of metaphor? Perhaps the sea refers to the memory zone.
March, you're not this stupid,
I'm
please.
sorry. I don't know, but my memories keep pouring out uncontrollably, like water flowing from a fountain. Perhaps I'll remember more things if we go further.
March, please, you're not this stupid.
Share your burden.
We all understand. March, please.
We're going
I've
to the
connected all
opposite
the
side,
dots.
right?
No, we should turn left here.
I want to eat that. I want to be in that water fountain.
Huh? Something feels different about this place.
This is it. Up ahead is Grandpa's study. It was in that room that I saw him the last time. Will you come back?
Oh, Misha.
Let's continue sailing. We've arrived at the new world.
The atmosphere in this room feels totally different.
Misha, you finally come.
Clocky, you're here! Huh. Yeah. This is the room where we first met each other.
Are those books on the bookshelf logbooks left behind by that seafarer?
Yeah. Whenever he came back, he placed a logbook on the bookshelf in his room. They contain records of his expeditions to every corner of the world. He described our world as a
What?
fountain.
Ah,
At
trumpet.
some point, the sea started to gradually swallow up the land where people lived.
Trumpet. It's too early for this, Trumpet.